We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak for Wednesday, March 14th. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer, and we're going to take a look at the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 55 and a low of 35. It's a 0% chance of rain. Looking ahead at your 3-day outlook, Thursday, sunny with a high of 69 and a low of 44. Friday, thunderstorms, that's an 80% chance of rain. The high is 64 and the low is 55. And for Saturday, more rain, 30% chance with a high of 75 and a low of 46. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. The bill that could have led to an increase in the state's tobacco tax died on Tuesday. It was not taken up in the House on a deadline day. House Ways and Means Chairman Jeff Smith said if the bill had come up for consideration before the House on Tuesday, there would have been an amendment offered to increase the cigarette tax. The Republican from Columbus said he did not want that to occur until the majority Republican caucus had time to properly vet the bill. Multiple health-related groups have advocated for a $1.50 increase in the state's current 68-cent per pack tax on cigarettes. Those groups include the American Heart Association, the Cancer Action Network, and the Mississippi Medical Association. An increase of $1.50 per pack would make Mississippi's cigarette tax one of the highest in the nation and the highest in the region. There has been some discussion of a smaller increase. Various sources have indicated that Governor Phil Bryant, who has been opposed to tax increases during his tenure, might support an increase in the cigarette tax. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is drafting a guide to help schools and law enforcement create targeted violence prevention plans. The move comes in the wake of last month's Florida school shooting that left 17 people dead. The federal agency also will conduct training and other activities to increase school security around the country. Homeland Security announced the plans in a press release on Monday. State and local officials will have primary responsibility for the physical security at schools. Homeland Security said it hopes to improve awareness and foster a culture of preparedness. The plan includes engaging school officials, parents, students, and first responders to communicate best practices and promote security measures. Grant funding is available to enhance security. Homeland Security plans to update its K-12 School Security Practices Guide to include information learned from recent attacks. A school attack research study is being conducted to study motives, behaviors, and other factors to improve prevention. 2 bills are alive that could lead to an additional judge for Lee County. On Tuesday, the House passed a local and private bill that would give the Lee County Board of Supervisors the authority to approve a second county judge post to help alleviate a crowded court docket. Another bill is pending in the Senate that would perform the same function. The Senate could vote to send the bill pending in its chamber to the governor, alleviating the need for the local and private bill. It also could invite conference or negotiations. The original intent of the Senate bill was to allow DNA samples of those arrested but not convicted of a violent offense to be destroyed in some circumstances. It was amended to also allow a second Lee County judge. If one of the bills passes, the judge would be elected in the November general election. While 21 counties have county judges, 7 counties have at least 2. Harrison and Hinds counties have 3. The counties with 2 are DeSoto, Jackson, Lauderdale, Madison, and Rankin. And in sports, Andy Franks pitched himself into the Mooreville baseball history books last week. Franks set a school record with 18 strikeouts over 7 innings in a 2-0 win over division opponent Caledonia. Franks threw a complete game shutout and only allowed 3 hits. More impressively, it was Franks' first start in more than 2 seasons. He has dealt with minor arm issues during that span that prevented him from starting. Instead, he has thrown relief innings and served as closer. Now he's back at full speed and is throwing between 87 and 91 miles an hour. Coach Derek Thompson said last week's start was the most dominant performance he's ever seen. Thompson said Franks wasn't initially scheduled to be pitching in the record-breaking game. Fellow senior Andrew Pugh was suffering from arm soreness, so they asked Franks to go out there and throw as many innings as possible. And Franks isn't even best known for his pitching skills. He has been a force at the plate with a .379 career batting average. That includes 2 seasons in which he has hit above .400. He also has 10 career home runs. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Wednesday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Be sure to listen to the Prep Rally podcast with hosts Brad Locke and Dalton Middleton talking about the latest in Northeast Mississippi high school sports. Look for a new episode this afternoon in Apple Podcasts or Google Play, or listen online at preprally.djournal.com. Any story discussed on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Wednesday.